Hey, what's good, everybody, man? This your boy, AK Harrison from whoisakharrison.com, man. You can also catch me at the blog spot at bigmoneytrucker.com, man. We are live and on location, out here over the road, man. The reason why I am doing something different because something came up alarming on my timeline, and it's the driverless trucks. They said that the driverless trucks are back, and we're going to find out if they're going to roll them out in 2025, man. We got to figure this thing out. So I went on to pull up the video. This is Fox Business News. Okay. We're going to have to check them out, man. Because, whenever Fox News come up with anything, Fox Business News, this is a credible source. And then we're going to also go through a timeline of what they have been reporting inside their camp.
Driverless trucks are here. Aurora Innovation says it's ready to go completely driverless, a key milestone that could reshape the trucking industry. At least 10 companies are known to be developing driverless technology for trucks, most expected to pull the driver or go fully autonomous on public roads later this year or as soon as 2026. That is not far off. We've discussed the cars and the taxis on this show, and we've all emphasized that we would be very scared to get stuck in one and what could potentially go wrong. A truck is a bigger vehicle. I'll start with you, David, from a investment perspective. I mean, do we have to get on board with this because this is where it's all going?
Well, a couple things to understand. One is that pretty much everything in life shows up on a truck like that. And so we've got a big need. It's hard to find drivers. They've got limits on how far they can go, how long they can go, et cetera. So if you got autonomous, you're taking away some jobs. So I don't love that idea, but I do like the idea that maybe there's something that can go in a more efficient way. But, I just say it this way, I got a $100 chauffeur recently for my Model X Tesla.
All right, so this is the guy who's supposed to be pro-autonomous trucks.
And it does a pretty good job.
But what if you can't make a huge truck like that stop and it hits something or?
Safety always going to be a concern, man. Whenever you start talking about driverless anything, there's always room for error, right? Because anything can happen. Technology fails all the time, and I mean all of the time.
Or obstructions, if there's a technological failure of some sort, that seems scary to me, just of a vehicle that size. I'm just lobbing that one.
I guess I have more faith in the technology. I've seen, I think, how Waymo operates in San Francisco with the hills. And
one thing about San Francisco, too, there has been some reports, especially with the driverless taxis that way, that there's been a lot of accidents and a lot of failed taxis. Like they've been hitting objects, they've been malfunctioning. So imagine those 80,000 pound vehicles malfunctioning on the road like that, man.
Lots of one-way streets. I hear you. This is a bigger size, heavier vehicle. But I think the technology is there, and I think we're close. David, you mentioned an interesting point. So my immediately thought was job.
She got a little baby bump on her. Congratulations.
The trucking, worker. What freight union, is out there that's going to fight back about this? And then I thought about my dad who runs a bus company. He's desperate for drivers. He cannot get enough drivers.
Here we go. There's a shortage of drivers. Should have known that was coming.
Drivers. There is no one willing to drive. And if that solves that problem, instead of turning down a trip, if you can take that trip because you finally don't need the driver, that actually might solve some problems. So maybe this is a double-edged sword. And yes, you may lose some jobs, but if we're struggling to find people who will drive, this actually might be a good solution.
It is interesting that you mentioned.
Look, there is no driver shortage. That is a myth. That myth has been debunked numerous of times. And check this out too, right? Simultaneously, freight has been slowing down in the industry. If you have been paying attention to truckers who are on YouTube, uh, Facebook, all over any type of social media, TikToks, they have been reporting that the wait time between loads are getting longer and longer. So there is no shortage of drivers. Freight is slowing down. As a matter of fact, there are still new drivers coming into the industry. Y'all know where I'm at. Y'all hear that cue. Also, you have an influx of owner operators who are still operating. So new authorities coming in, new drivers coming in, and freight is slowing down. There is no driver shortage. That's a myth.
Sort of the industry groups. So the owner operator independent drivers association. So they represent the drivers. One of the points they make is these trucks that are driverless are very lightly regulated. But if you want to drive, an over the road truck, the regulations are really significant around how you get licensed, how you're checked up on, when you have to take breaks, what happens if you violate that, how you log all of that. So one of the things that's maybe going to have to get figured out through this, because I think this truck is coming and it's going to keep going. But one of the things is, how do you create a little more parity in terms of regulation? So for guys who want to continue to operate, or companies who want to continue to employ people in their trucks, how do you create a regulatory environment that creates more parity? Because these guys are saying,
It starts with the laws and lobbyists, man. What they're doing, the government is pumping a lot of money into driverless tech and AI anyway. AI is on the way. It's coming. There is no way around it, right? It's here, it's coming, and it's here to stay, right? Uh, but driverless just seems a little bit too extreme, uh, just for safety concerns and the room of. There's just so much room for error when it comes to just driverless anything or without humans.
saying right now, the driverless trucks have a huge regulatory advantage.
Driver free doesn't sound so bad when you compare it to driver sleepy.
True.
Or driver dozing.
True.
Which is a problem in the trucking industry. This is kind of a side note.
Really? What's a bigger function or bigger concern for drivers on the road today? Distracted drivers. People who drive four-wheelers, they can't keep their phones from out of their hand. I want y'all to really think about how many times you have driven in traffic and you look over to your left or your right and they have their phone in their hand and they're driving just like this right here. One hand on the steering wheel and the other hand in their phone, and they are scrolling or sending a text message. Not just talking on the phone, but actually just sending a text message. Four-wheelers do that, not the truck drivers. Distracted driving.
But on the docket next week in the House of Representatives, it just makes me deeply happy. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, who handles the floor schedule, there are 5 Congressional Review Act resolutions on the docket for next week. So, and this is a repeal of certain things that are happening in California. Resolution 87 is trying to stop California's efforts to force truck manufacturers to sell zero-emission trucks. Very exciting because
that's the thing too. All right, so that's a thing too. We got one more video that we're going to go ahead and check out, man. It's also on YouTube. Alright. And this is the company that started it. And we're going to watch this one in real time together too. We're going to watch this one in real time together. All right, let's go ahead and get there. Boom. And I need to share my screen, right? Let's go and share the screen. YouTube. Go ahead and get us on there.
My name is Charles Wright. I have driven over 1 million miles.
My name is Clinton Ray Lindig, and I have been driving here at Hirschbach since 2015.
I'm Christine Gordy. I've been
All right,
driving
so Hirschbach is in on the
almost 25 years
on
and
the
close
G.
to 6 million safe miles.
I'm Todd. I've been driving, had my CDL for 31 years.
That's veteran drivers.
Getting some true truck drivers
What
in
y'all-
this space that are outside this
what y'all think
organization
about
to give us some new feedback. And
veteran
so,
drivers.
I couldn't wait for the day.
We're
testing
not
out this
talking
technology.
ourselves from a tech perspective. We're talking more from the actual industry perspective. We do firmly believe that our software is safe and our operations are safe. And we hope to be able to replicate million milers like y'all, like people who make it happen every single day.
I didn't really have any preconceptions about the autonomous truck industry. People think that it's here to replace the drivers. It's really not.
And we're still going to need people to inspect the trailers and inspect the truck.
Any skepticism with autonomous trucks? Sir, I've seen Terminator.
You're starting a technology of,
Hold on,
autonomous
what
truck.
did he say?
Sir,
Need people to inspect the trailers and inspect the truck.
any skepticism with autonomous trucks? Sir, I've seen Terminator.
You're starting a technology of, autonomous driving. Where could that possibly not go wrong?
With the future being that there's going to be nobody in there, just blows my mind.
Timmy boy, I'm looking for you. Timmy boy.
Do y'all think that these are like
Come
paid
on inside.
actors?
Timmy boy, I'm looking for you. Stop smoking your vape.
They're having too much fun in here. Do y'all think that these guys are actually drivers, or are they paid drivers? What do y'all think? Do y'all think that they're actors?
Ready to roll? All right. Welcome to the Aurora Driver.
Aurora.
What even operates the turn signals?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you teach other drivers to do that?
You know, I like that. I do the exact same thing. It's pretty accurate. It can tell the size of the vehicle.
Like you said, it anticipates a lot of things.
Seeing what the truck is seeing is just insane. Like humans can't see this far. We can't see this many angles all at once.
It's got better visibility than we do as humans.
Its turns were so on point. Like I was looking over and
So do y'all see the way that he's cautioned on the wheel? Like he has his hands in like a ready position, just in case if he has to take control. So that's not completely driverless just yet.
in the driver's side mirror as it was doing its turns, perfect turns. I mean, used up the entire lane, kept it as wide as you possibly could. I was impressed by that because not a lot of drivers do that.
It avoided a piece of wood in the road. There was a car that was broke down on the side of the road, so it moved
She
over.
has her
It
hand
slowed
in a
down
ready
and then moved
position as
over.
well. That's
But it
not
was really
driverless.
cool, and it did everything. Stop signs, turn signals, the whole 9 yards. And I was like, I wish they'd teach other drivers to do that.
We're talking cutting edge. And the very edge of the cutting edge here is what you guys are working with.
I have no problem. At least I feel more safe with this on the road than I do from human drive.
Oh no, homeboy, come on. Hirschbach, you just threw up. He said he feel more safe with a robot driving than some humans rolling, man. Dang.
I think this is going to be huge, and safety wise, it's going to be a lot better. I hate to say that, but we're human. We are fallible.
I wouldn't mind getting behind one and just following it at a distance because I know it's going to pick the safe route. So I get behind it, set my adaptive cruise, and
Yeah, like I said, this one here is not gonna hurt nobody. It's not.
A lot of propaganda.
And if you open-minded and not closed-minded, you're gonna get the big picture. And like, good truck drivers are really hard.
I can't trust you, bro. I can't trust you.
Fine. It really are, because some people, you have to have the will and the determination to do what we do. We need all the help we can get out here. And as long as it's still doing what it's doing and it's not turning to the Terminator or my bad, transform into Ultimate Prime, we're going to be all right.
It was actually quite enjoyable, and I'm excited to watch how this progresses.
I mean, I'm not going to be afraid of them. I never was, but I definitely feel a lot safer
It's all
around these now.
Yeah, let me know what y'all think about that, man. Got some Hirschbach drivers vouching for Aurora. They're vouching for driverless trucks, but that didn't seem driverless to me because those drivers, they had their hands in a ready position, like ready to take grasp of the wheel just in something happens. So I'm really eager to see what's going to come with that in the future. Will drivers still be in the truck, or is it just talk, man? So y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section, man. This your boy, AK Harrison from whoisakharrison.com, man. Driverless trucks. What y'all think about them? They're going to roll out at the end of the year. Y'all think they're going to be here first thing of the year, 2026? Let me know. Peace.